Reminder, Adam Nelson, hoopdirt.com, joins me in just a few minutes. And then Alan Eisen, which is one of my favorites. Unfortunately, it was the end of Married with Children, the regrettable final season of Married with Children. And they did, they began the show, you know how they do that? They'll like play the theme after they've had the opening scene begins it. You remember that? Do we even have theme songs in TV shows anymore? I don't think we do. I mean, Seinfeld kind of did away with that, and that was, and then people just, the theme wasn't all that big of a deal after a while. But anyhow, Alan Eisenstock joins me. He wrote a book, Sports Talk. I wanted to have him on, and back last week after Steve Forbes snapped at me, he didn't like my line of questioning, and it reminded me of a press conference that in this book, Alan Eisenstock wrote about, and you can read the story on medium.com, as a matter of fact, on my Medium page. But what the deal was is that the Heat was down 3-0 to the Jordan Bulls in the playoffs, and he said, would you shave your head if you could win this series? And people thought that was just, what an unprofessional question and all of that. And to be honest with you, yeah, I kind of, and North, Eisenstock talked to North about this, and the idea was, would you trade your most prized possession, in this case, Riley's hair, we can debate if that is his most prized possession or not, to win this series? Because after all, look, Riley had all that success with the Lakers and all that. Did he need another title? It only seems like, hey, that is a legit question. Well, that's the other side of the story that Alan Eisenstock thinks about in his creativity, and that's why I want to, what's the difference between Sports Talk here and now? He's been, in this book, he talks about listening to the post-game show of Dodgers games in 7 coming up. Gotta give it up to Caleb Calhoun, who joins me at the Balls. Gotta give it up to all for Tennessee. No, she's not. Anyway. Allie LaForce, the basketball reporter, has reported that Grant Williams, who you heard on the Matt Pauley Sportscast, is going to go to the, scouting combine or whatever. But Grant Williams' decision whether or not he returns to Tennessee or not on Saturday. Now, I really think it is a long shot for him to go back to UT. Fan, if so, Tennessee fans think that if a ball athlete doesn't play all 4 years, maybe not all, if he came from a family of wealth, and of course he was a god. He was a college football star. Think about it. There are football stars, but most of them are pro football stars. Who are the college football stars? It just seems like something, so long ago, a Doc Blanchard, a Johnny Majors back then. Guys in the 40s and the 50s. What a college football star is. But then you start thinking, Bo Jackson was a college football title at Penn State. He was a college football star. College football, you get 80,000, something to be said for that. Of both college and pro football stars, I'll give you one, O.J. Simpson. Yeah, he was. Vinny Testaverde, although it took him a while, and he never really was thought of as the elite quarterback. He was more or less the good quarterback. Do you hear? So, I mention that because Manning was a little bit different. Now, Grant Williams might be a very popular man in Tennessee, but he's not one half thimbleful of the popularity that Peyton Manning was. And also, he's projected to money this year. From Bleacher Report says San Antonio Spurs. Hey, And unlike Jerome Rodriguez, who returned to ETSU because his pro status probably will go up with an extra year in college, it's not going to get any higher for Grant Williams. So if he returns one of those places, and probably because of Peyton Manning, that we still have this hope for it. And yeah, if Williams came back, maybe the Vols could contend for that Final Four appearance that they didn't. Saturday, Williams is supposed to make his decision. And now, I mentioned the college football star. I'll give you another example of someone, and I mentioned, Manning was both a college football star and certainly a pro football star. Tom Brady is a pro football star. He split his time with Brian Greasy, let's face facts, at Michigan. And there's that Churchill smartness. But really, I don't know, even though he's been SEC Player of the Year twice and all that, he wasn't the Player of the Year in college basketball. I'm not sure if the lay fan in Los Angeles or Topeka or, Ithaca, New York knows Grant Williams. They knew game or not, I'm going to put two people on Curry the whole ball game. We wind up losing by 30, but Curry didn't score on us. That's how big he was. And so I wonder if Zion Williamson, though, is a college basketball star. He'll go number 1 in New Orleans, assuming they don't trade away the pick. He's been talked a lot about. His exploding sneaker certainly got it that he would be regarded as the quote-unquote college basketball star if it wasn't for that. Player of the Year? Sure. Never any question about that. But can you be one and done and a college basketball star? Think about that. Can you? I mean, Ralph Sampson was a college basketball star. Michael Jordan, to a certain extent, was. You knew who he was. I remember watching him play at North Carolina. There's the best sophomore in the country, Michael Jordan. Maybe Hakeem Olajuwon was actually a bigger college basketball star back in the day. But, you look at who's number 2, Murray State point guard Ja Morant. He's got a lot of attention for the Racers, but I was like, oh, yeah, it's that guy. That's sort of what I thought of. For that matter, Steph Curry taking Davidson to the Elite Eight. No. He was a guy who did well at Murray State. Zion Williamson also, say what you will, but he's on a team of, well, if not stars, good players. I'm wondering how Duke didn't win the national title this year, because the draft that I am seeing not only has Williamson going number 1 to New Orleans, but Duke's R.J. Barrett going number 3 overall to the Knicks, who everybody seems to want to talk about for whatever reason. And then, I think I'll call him that. Anyhow, so 3 players taken in the top 9 projected by Bleacher Report. How did that team not win the national title? Yeah. I think that's what happened when they lost in the NCAA tournament. People were wondering what we look at here is is Williamson, can you call him a college basketball star? I don't know if you can. He may be the biggest one since Steph Curry here, but does that make him the player that you really remember for his college basketball exploits the way you do remember Curry's, or Patrick Ewing's, or Shaq O'Neal's at LSU, or Christian Laettner at Duke? Yeah. Hey, I'm Marky Billson. We'll be talking some more. HoopDirt.com. John Beilein, he's going to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Tri-Cities Sports Now. How does that trickle down to us? Talked about it next.